everyone, Reverend Melissa Kennedy here. I am a psychic medium, a energy healer, spiritual healer, um, a metaphysical practitioner, and today I am popping on to do a quick video to talk about some things that have been bubbling up in my mind, in my consciousness, and I like to talk about the ways that spirit works with me on a daily basis and teaches me lessons. So some of our lessons I learned in the now moment, but a lot of our consciousness and our memories bring us back to past things that have happened to us, maybe in our childhood, early adult life, wherever you are in your life. There's a point that you can be brought back to, that you can be fully immersed back in those memories, and the things that you are experiencing now will mirror those, and it's your cue to work on those things and to ask yourself, what can I do to heal myself? And then as a result of healing ourselves, how can we then use that to help others understand that they can do the same, and how can we help them do this is my mission. After raising my children, doing those kind of things, and now being a grandmother, I feel like I am learning more and more about child rearing as I just watch my little 9-month-old granddaughters, they're twins, just expand and flourish and change every time I see them. And it just warms my heart. And yesterday I was spending time with, it was my mom's birthday, and we were all together as a family, spending time together. And I'm so grateful and thankful to have that time to share. I just can't even say how much that means to me and how important that is for me as a person, as a human being on this planet, to have those family connections. And it was so cute because my mom, at the end of the day, after all, we'd eaten our meal and we were all just hanging out and talking, and she just stopped everybody and she said, "You know what? I have the best family in the world." And she said, "Do you know why?" She said, "Because nobody argues, we don't fight, everybody has a good time, and we just enjoy being together. So when we're together, we make the best of that time being together because everybody's busy. My son works a lot. Everybody works a lot in the downtime, in the family time is sacred. It really is sacred to us in how we live our lives. So no matter who those people are in your life that you feel so blessed and so grateful to have in your life, don't forget to let them know, okay? Take that time, take that moment to be grateful and bring them into that gratefulness in your heart, okay? And share that with them, because those are the things we don't forget. I go back to when I was growing up and sharing time with my grandparents and my family at that time. And we'd all sit down to a beautiful Sunday dinner, and everything would get quiet. And that's when my grandfather would say, "Everybody's quiet all of a sudden. That must mean the food is good." And I'll never forget him saying that, because it was true and everything was quiet, but nobody even knew we were doing that. It was just like we just sat down, and everybody got their meal, and we were grateful for our food, and we were just like, "Oh, this is delicious. Thank you. Thank you, God, for this beautiful day." And everybody started to eat. And it did go silent. And that was his happiness. That was his joy in that moment. That's how he shared his gratefulness. And what a beautiful memory that is for me. And what a beautiful spirit he had. We actually shared a birthday, so 11/1, and he was born in 1911, so it was 11/1/11 for him. And I just want to share that I feel like he was kind of a seer too. I feel like we all are, but he gave little glimpses of that to me. And looking back, I have noticed that. And he told me before he passed away, he said, "Melissa, when I'm gone and you see 11/11 or any form of 11/11, 111, or any kind of ones repeating," he said, "That's me looking over you. I'm with you." And I can't tell you how many times I have seen 1111 or 111 or 101 or anything to do with repeating ones. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're here, Gramp. I hear you. I know you're with me. One time on my birthday, I was buying some things at the register, and it came to 111.11. That was my birthday and his birthday, and I was like, how beautiful. He's with me right now. And I really, really understand that more and more now as I've developed my psychic abilities and I am now a medium. I want to tell you that our loved ones, our ancestors are always with us, always guiding us. Look for the signs, whatever they are. If you feel them, if you see butterflies, birds, cardinals, dragonflies, anything like that from the natural world, anything, number sequences, a song, just so many different ways to know that our loved ones are no longer with us in this physical reality, but they do not end. The energy doesn't end, it just transitions, and the love never ends. So just remember that. So I want to continue as to why I wanted to come on and make this video and share with everybody today. It's all about freedom, okay? And so one of my predictions for this year was that 2023 was a year of the heart. And it has very much been about that for me. But a lot of it has been to untangle what's in the heart and what's in the conscious mind, okay? And even when we sleep, the subconscious mind brings us into the dream state and some things that we're maybe not facing with the conscious mind throughout our day, whether we're busy or we're burying things, we're trying to avoid them. 2023 is bringing all of this out into the light, okay? And in the collective, we see so many things are that were in the darkness, so to speak, that were in the deep, deep recesses of the collective consciousness, energy and mind, if you will, are being brought into the light right now. And so when you sit back and you look, one of my friends, Psychic Alley, had a 9-hour feed doing readings yesterday for the children. And I don't know the name of the link that you can donate for the movie. That's about freeing the children. I can't even think of the name of it right now. You all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, she did a 9-hour broadcast and she had readers come on and give free. They all donated their time and gave free readings. I got on. Luckily, I was able to give a couple of free readings at the end of the day. It was a very busy day for me yesterday. It was my mom's birthday. But I was able to go on for just a brief moment. But what she did was beautiful. And so if you go on Psychic Alley's YouTube channel, go ahead and give her a like. And if you found this podcast, go ahead and give me a like, okay? Let's exchange the energy. I'm giving my time, I'm giving my heart. Let me know that you're here and that you received this message, okay? Because that is how we grow. That is how we learn. And that is how we raise our frequency, our vibration, and our consciousness here right now on this planet. But anyway, Sound of Freedom, that's the name of the movie. So the Sound of Freedom movie, very near and dear to her heart. And the message, very clear that we need to stop childhood abuse and sexual abuse and also human trafficking, okay? So we are here right now. We are being challenged by the universe, by God, by whatever word resonates for you to rise above whatever may be holding us down, whether that is in our own emotions and our own minds. We are being called to rise above the darkness, even within ourselves. And so it got me thinking about how Spirit's been working with me in bringing me back into areas of my life that I need to look at myself right now as that young girl, as that young child, and what would I say to her when she felt belittled or small or somebody spoke to her unkindly. How would I treat her? I would treat her with so much love, right? And that's what we need to do for all of the children, the children placed in our care, every child that comes into our life. We need to, as adults, if we see anybody treating a child close to us in a way that's not kind and loving, we need to correct that adult right then and there. And we need to validate that child, because you know what's going to save humanity? You know what's going to heal us? When we start healing our children, when we make sure that our children are no longer damaged in any way. It just came to me this morning, like, this is so important, all of this stuff, but how can we do this in our own lives? How can we stop abuse? How can we stop injustices? How can we bring more kindness, more love into our world? I will speak on being a parent. It is the hardest job on the planet. I'm telling you, it really is. You can go to work and you can interact with adults, and that can be heavy, that can be challenging. But being a parent challenges us every single day. And I always say children don't come with a handbook. We get these children, we love them, and we try our best, but we make mistakes, right? So looking back over my child rearing and raising of my own children, I see the mistakes I made. And I put a lot of pressure on my oldest child. A lot of that programming that was put on me, and looking back now, I wish that I would have had the competency, the wisdom, and the knowledge to know that I could have done it my own way. I could have done it different. But that was all part of my learning journey. And when we think about the past generations and all the programming they had, all the things they experienced, and they didn't have time to stop, and reflect on things. They were living in hard times. So my generation is here to heal their trauma, because it's in our DNA, it's in us. Their trauma is in us, okay? And so we have to send them love over their timelines. We have to send understanding to that, and know that they were, I don't want to say victims, but they were actually, just programmed into that, what their prior generation, what they learned was put into them. And then as we grow and as we experience life as a consciousness with more and more awareness of what we're supposed to be in this lifetime as human beings, the more we become more aware of how much better we can do things. Okay. So my generation was brought up, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Well, not necessarily. We learn lessons not by violence. We don't have to harm anybody to have somebody learn a lesson. We can teach our children the right things to do. And if they make a mistake, there's consequences to that already. Like if they don't do their homework, or they don't do the things that we tell them to do, ultimately they're going to feel that mistake, and that's how they learn. We don't have to bring upon any trauma or pain to them, just teach them right, give them responsibility, give them choices, give them freedom to make mistakes, and that's all they are, mistakes, and we all make them. Every single day we make a mistake, so what? Just acknowledge that you made a mistake. Say you're sorry to the people around you. Say you're sorry to yourself, and just move on. Just move on. So that was what was bubbling up today, and it is hard to do. It is hard to admit that we make mistakes, but we all do. And some things you can't change, and you can still send love and light to those things, and hope that things are resolved. But as long as you step away and you are not sending bad energy to those things, and you're just saying, look, it's okay, I forgive, and I'm moving on. And I hope that the people that I've forgiven feel that and know that they can move on as well. It's all good, it's just giving ourselves the freedom and other people the freedom. But so that was some of what was bubbling up today in that movie, and all of the stuff that's going on in our world about the trafficking of children, and also of just human beings as a whole in general. There's so much human trafficking going on in our world today, and we need to wake up to this reality. We need to open our eyes, and we need to say no more. No more. This is not going to happen anymore. We're not going to allow it to happen. And however we unite to make sure that this doesn't happen, I feel like it has to be grassroots. It has to start with us. And then as we, form and band our groups together, it sends a message that we're just not going to take this anymore, right? And so when we unite, then we become stronger. So one of the mantras that I got in meditation early on in this year was, I am uniting my light with those who wish to heal our world. And that's what I do every single day. So there are people that are holding the light, and they are sending so much love to our timeline, to this moment in time right now. And we're here to raise the vibration and the frequency of this planet. And yes, even if you don't believe there is a vibration and a frequency to this planet, it doesn't matter. We're here to be that love and be that light, however you identify with it, whether it's through the Christ light, whether it's through the Buddha consciousness, or any other higher being, God, the universe, whatever word resonates for you. Ask for as much of that light to be in your heart and to fill your entire body till it's overflowing. And you take that light wherever you go. You be that light wherever you're brought, wherever you go in this world. Okay? That's what we need to do right now. So it starts at home. It starts with us. It starts with me. It starts with you. And we need to just open up our eyes and see all of the things opening up to us and question everything, Do question everything. And I always say, run it through your own filter. So we all have our own way of being, feeling, and experiencing life and this world. And know that your body is programmed to feel truth. So whenever you see something, whenever you hear something, go ahead and listen to it. And then when you're done, sit with that and say, was what I just heard the truth? Question everything, okay? And draw your own conclusions about everything. That's what we have to do now more than ever. There's so much information in this world, and that's a beautiful thing, but let's not get caught up in the stories. Let's not get caught up in the drama. Let's bring that light and that love and that peace and that harmony out with us into the world. Let's bring that truth, and let's talk about that truth. And when we live in that truth, then ultimately we will be free. We will be free. So what does that look like? Freedom looks like, to me, a planet where there is no lack, where there is no need, where there is no want of the basic necessities. I believe that there is enough on this planet for everyone. I believe there's enough of food. I believe there's enough energy. I believe that there's shelter for everyone. I believe that there's help for everyone. There's it's like a podcast, and this guy goes out to Arizona. It's actually in Phoenix, and he goes and he interviews homeless people or people on the streets. And every time I watch these interviews, I think, oh my gosh. And this one that I just watched, the most recent one, was this woman out there. She's like 38, still very young, and she wants to get off the streets, and she went to get help. But where she went, they turned her away. They couldn't help her. So she's back out on the streets. And she's a beautiful soul. I can see that. She's a beautiful soul. She's a tortured soul. She has so many things that she doesn't want to hurt anymore herself. She doesn't want to hurt anyone else anymore either. And she wants to heal. But she's out there on the streets. So as a collective, I feel like we need to put our heads together and say, how can we stop this? How can we stop homelessness? How can we stop hunger? How can we stop people being abandoned, afraid, lost, forsaken, cast out by society, and being caught in this cycle, turning to drugs because there's nobody to help them cope with what they're going through emotionally and psychologically and spiritually even. A lot of people that wind up homeless are, I believe, spiritually gifted. and there's been nobody there to help them, to tell them that the things that they see, the voices that they might hear, aren't necessarily something that makes them an outcast or different or even psychologically unsound. There are spiritual aspects, and nobody's there to guide these people. I'm not saying that mental illness does not exist. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are certain aspects to the human being that are spiritual, that are not being addressed, that are not being healed or worked with, even right now in our world today. So let's change that too. And that starts with knowing our children, our babies being born now, like my granddaughters, they're special. I'm not just saying that because they're my granddaughters. One of my little granddaughters was actually sitting in my lap yesterday, and she was exhausted and she wanted to sleep, but she fought it, and she just kind of got into this peaceful place, and she was on my lap. And I felt her whole body just kind of relax. And all of a sudden, her body started to rock, and she started to hum. She was humming, and then she was tapping her little hands on her legs, and she had this music in her body. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's chanting. And it's so cool because she is Native American, it's in her bones, it's in her body, it's in her ancestry, it's her heritage. And after she kept doing it, and I started to hum with her and kind of chant her little chant, and she would wait for me to stop, and then she would start her little chant. And I would clap my hands, and she would listen, and then she would start to chant. It was so beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. We need to know these children. We need to look at them in a new way and say, oh my gosh, what are they gifting me with? What is this specialness that this child is gifting our lives with? How can we make them live? How can we help them to live the most beautiful life on this planet? How can we understand them and set them upon their path and give them the freedom to be themselves, no matter what that is? And don't mold them. Just give them the freedom to be their best self. Identify what it is that they're good at and help them shine. Help them to develop that, what they're good at. And don't cookie cutter our children. Don't put them in a mold. Let them be free. Let them create. Let them sing. Let them dance. Let them make art. Let them do beautiful things, because we're all here to do beautiful things. And so today is actually July 30th, 2023, and I'm going to pull a card for the week to come for the collective energy. And like always, some just fell out of the deck as I started to shuffle. And actually, hang on. Just going to make sure it was only one. I thought it was two. So our card for today is Dimensional Gateway, and it was Archangel Metatron deck. And it says innovation. So as we see this divine doorway opening up and this beautiful angel coming through, let us let our children be innovators. Let them be creators. Let them create a new life. Don't program them into what we were programmed into. Listen to what our children have to say to us, because I'm here to tell you, I learned so much from my children. So much wisdom came out of their young mouths. And I was like, wow, that just came out of a child, and I know that my grandmother felt that way about me. She told my dad that never do anything to this girl. She's special. Well, I feel that same way about the children I raised, and I feel the same way about my grandchildren, my granddaughters. So dimensional gateway, divine doorways opening up, light codes coming in. Work with all of that light. Help your children to understand energy. Help them to understand that they can feel energy. Teach them about angels. Teach them about the universe, about God, about Creator, about Jesus, about the Ascended Masters. Set them on fire from the inside out, and then listen to the beautiful things that come through them, because they are divine channels. They're born divine channels, just like we are. You know, we were born divine channels, but we weren't taught that that's what we are here in this physical reality. So, with that being said, I feel like this message is complete. And like I said, give this video a like, give it a share if this message resonated with you. Let's wake up together. Let's wake up humanity. Let's raise our level of consciousness. Let's be kind. Let's be loving. Let's heal our planet. Let's heal our world. Let's heal ourselves. Okay. And on the bottom, I work with people every day to get in touch with their psychic abilities, their spiritual gifts. I can see them. I can clear your aura. I can help you clear, balance, and harmonize your chakras. There's nothing I can't do in a psychic reading. It's amazing what comes through, and you will learn a lot about yourself and a lot about where you are right now and where you're headed. So if you feel drawn, you know, let spirit work with you, and then reach out. Visit my website. It's scrolling right along the bottom here, whisperingwindpsychiccowgirl.com. I look forward to hearing from you. And I absolutely love working with people to develop and to get in tune with their spiritual selves. Okay. So with that being said, I am sending you light, love, peace, and blessings of all kinds. Until next time, Reverend Melissa Kennedy signing off. Bye-bye now.